Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, here with Libya on geography. Now, doing every country in the world, alphabetical order, and we're on Libya right now. Kind of where Libya is located. Uh, kind of that's pretty much it, you know. And yeah, I was trying to think of was that from that? Was that from Libya or I don't I'm not sure. So I'm not gonna say something and then be totally wrong and people get mad at me. But even though that usually happens anyway. But anyways, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button below, and we are gonna start our adventure with Libya here. Doo-doo. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Da-da-da. All right, let's see what Paul's joke is going to be like. Because they usually Libya in some kind of corny phrase. What's he going to do this time?
Italian-speaking Arabs that just finished nearly half a century of rule under a guy that refused to fly for more than 8 hours, hated elevators, tried to crown himself king of Africa, and had a weird obsession with Condoleezza Rice. Yeah, that's just the tagline.
What?
It's time to learn geography
now! Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbs. We are back in the Maghreb, North Africa. Okay, so I know, there's more to Libya than all that Gaddafi stuff. It's actually a country loaded with millennia of history and culture that extends beyond what modern news portrays. First off, let's pinpoint where Libya is, shall we?
All right. I know we're
Libya. If only your visas were easily obtainable, you could become the next travel hotspot. Come on, you guys have like all those ancient ruins and nobody's visiting them. First of all, Libya is located in the North African region known as the Maghreb, with the longest coast on the Mediterranean Sea out of any nation in North Africa, bordered by 6 other countries. The country is divided into 22 districts, with the capital and most heavily populated district Tripoli in the north, whereas the least populated, with only about 23,000 people, being Gat, located on the southwest along the border with Algeria. Keep in mind, many Libyans also refer to the area as being located in one of 3 historical districts: Tripolitania, Fezzan, Cyrenaica. Also, fun fact, the name Tripoli means 3 cities, as it used to be 3 separate cities that were unified: Oea, Leptis Magna, and Sabrata. After Tripoli, the next largest cities are Benghazi.
I'm way off here, but since they're like I don't know, some kind of war. Cause I've heard the name Tripoli before, and I'm not. I think it was some kind of like, I guess, ancient war or battle or something. I could be totally wrong and just heard that name plenty of times just because of where it's located. I don't know. Never mind. Just trying to think of where I heard that as far as like, because I've done like Hannibal, I've done Caesar, and I don't think I've heard that name there, but I think I've heard that name. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. I don't know where I was going with that.
Oea, Leptis Magna, and Sabrata. After Tripoli, the next largest cities are Benghazi, yeah, that one, and Misrata, whereas the largest and busiest airports are Tripoli's International and Benghazi's Benina International. Now, Libya is interesting because it's like the one spot on the Mediterranean that has relatively untouched ancient sites that not too many tourists flock to, mostly because, 4 decades of, getting around in Libya, you really only have like 2 options: fly or take a really long road trip. There are no railways or river transport systems, and drivers heading south typically take extra jerry cans of fuel due to the unforgiving conditions that the vast empty terrain offers. Anyway, for Libya, cross-desert roadways kind of go like this. Hey, Algeria. Yeah? You got some great roads in the sandy deserts, especially that N1 Trans-Saharan Highway. Thanks. It took decades of allocating government funds for infrastructure investment. Yeah, whatever, that's great. Can I, copy your homework? And can I just, make a road that connects to your highway so I don't have to build through Shad? Hey, I won the Alzu strip dispute, okay? Deal with it. Some places of interest might include spots like the ancient sites of Cyrene, Leptis Magna, and Sabrata, the Arch of Marcus Aurelius, Sabrata Theater, the Gurgi Mosque, the Clock Tower of Tripoli, the Museum of Libya.
I'm sorry, but that theater, man. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Spots like the ancient sites of Cyrene, Leptis Magna, and Sabrata, the Arch of Marcus Aurelius, Sabrata Theater.
Do they still use that theater, or is it just like a tourist spot? And it has tourism increased lately? Oh, I guess not. It's been with the whole COVID thing, so I guess you can't really answer that. But do they use this? That'd be cool, like that plays or something, or I don't know, some music down there. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to go there to check out the site and see a show or something. I don't know. What am I?
Cyrene, Leptis Magna, and Sabrata, the Arch of Marcus Aurelius, Sabrata Theater,
Marcus
the Gurgi
Aurelius.
Mosque, the Clock Tower of Tripoli, the Museum of Libya, Severon Basilica, the Temple of Demeter, the Hadrianic Baths, the Red Castle Museum, Benghazi Zoo, the Amazigh Berber Cultural Towns, this ancient rock site that depicts savannah animals, Zoo, the Amazigh.
Man, that looks freaky. That's a town, like people live there. I I thought that was like a place, kind of like a tomb or something, or people are kind of, I guess, or buried in there, or you know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. But that looks really cool, but that also looks extremely creepy. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I love haunted places, but I don't. That thing that was scary more than like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Berber cultural towns. This ancient rock site that depicts savanna animals that once inhabited the area before it became a desert. And
That's so
also
cool.
a cool thing is the town of Gaddafi, which is located in one of the largest oases in the country. Here you can run around and have the world's largest game of hide and seek. The guys from that show
What?
Departures did such a great documentary on it. I recommend it. I think it's on Netflix. Check it out. All right, moving on.
Fun.
Now, the Sahara is a tricky desert because you keep finding these strange clues hidden all over that tell you an interesting story of life, death, prosperity, erosion, and eruption. First of all,
Okay.
Libya is the 16th largest country in the world and at 90% is mostly made up of the Libyan desert, a subsection of the Greater Saharan Desert, which is one of the driest, hottest places on Earth. In fact, the hottest air temperature ever recorded was at El Aziza at 57.8 degrees
Wow.
Celsius. If you look closer though, there's lots going on hidden amongst the seemingly grim, desolate terrain. For example, this large grayish dark area in the middle of the beige sand. This is the Harouj, one of the largest volcanic fields on Earth, made up of over
Okay.
150 Holocene volcanoes spread across 17,000 square miles. Yeah, Libya used to be a hotbed for volcanic activity a long time ago. Just to skip south, you find the most iconic volcano, the darkest spot on the map, Wau al Namus, probably the most remote and eerily beautiful natural landmark you can find in this world,
That's
complete
cool,
with
though,
black
man.
sand, rocks, and an oasis at the bottom. It is really hard to get here, and few people make it. If you do, take a picture and send it to geographylater@gmail.com. A little further south, you hit the Tibesti mountain range, shared with Chad, where you can find the highest peak, Bikupiti, at over 2,000 meters. Now, when it comes to water, Libya is interesting because the sands lie on the underground Nubian sandstone aquifer system, the largest fossil aquifer in the world, holding around 150,000 cubic kilometers of water, which in return allows a complex patchwork of oases to pop up randomly throughout various spots in the desert. This in return has also allowed Libya to build the world's
Cool.
largest man-made irrigation system. Built by Gaddafi in 5 phases starting in 1991, the GMR, or Great Man-Made River, takes water from the aquifer and supplies water to desert communities throughout the underground pipes that go nearly 3,000 kilometers in overall length with over 1,300 wells. In addition, Libya hosts the
Nice.
9th largest crude oil reserves in the world, largest in Africa, mostly heavily concentrated in the Al-Wahat district in the east. This alone makes up 97% of exports, mostly headed to Europe,
Damn.
and over half the nation's GDP. Oh yeah, the national animal is the Arabian eagle. Oh, and back in ancient times, there was this contraceptive plant related to silphium grown in Cyrene, and it was used to extinction because, back then, well, let's just say, ancient or modern, some things never change with the Greeks. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about food. Okay. I asked some of
get
you
it.
guys, the Libyan geography peeps, what I should mention, and here are some of the dishes you suggested. Couscous, bazin, asida, fatat, ospan, and macarona ambaja. Yeah, you heard me right. Macarona, or macaroni. Lots of Italian influence here, okay? Let's
Yummy.
cover that in.
Macaroni's always good.
Here's a story. Once upon a time, there was a room full of Arabs from all different countries, partying. Suddenly, one of them said, "Shh, guys, Libya's coming." Immediately, everyone started hiding their beers and shot glasses, straightened up, and upon Libya's entrance, they all said, "Oh, salam, peace be upon you, brother." Okay, a little exaggerated, but Libyans are kind of like that guy when it comes to the Arab world. First of all, the country has about 6.5 million people and has only about 3 people per square kilometer. The majority of the country, at about 97%, is made up of Arab Berber peoples, whereas the rest is made up of small minorities of Turks, Egyptians, West Africans, and a few remaining Italians. The country also uses the Libyan dinar as their currency. They use the Type D plug outlet, and they drive on the right side of the road. Now let's go back to
Okay.
the ethnic thing, though. Like most nations in the Maghreb, over half of the population identifies as having roots with the Amazigh, or Berber community, whether fully or mixed. Berber culture plays a strong yet historically disenfranchised role in Libyan society as it was suppressed during the Gaddafi years. We've discussed this before, but recap, Berbers are basically the nomadic natives of North Africa, predating any Arab or Islamic settlement. They speak their own language.
Actually, that's true. I mean, I don't know much about Gaddafi, like at all. I'm sure that's why, obviously that, there's a negative view on Libya and stuff like that. But other than him not being a very good guy, I really know absolutely nothing about how he came into power or what exactly he did. I'm sorry. That might be a video for a future video I do down the line, but I'm just saying because I've heard the name before and I just heard he wasn't a very good person, but I don't know like the history of what he did or anything. just putting that out there.
Are basically the nomadic natives of North Africa predating any Arab or Islamic settlement. They speak their own language and dialects. To this day, they hold fast to the long line of traditions, customs, and lifestyles that they're known for. For the first time in decades after the fall of Gaddafi, ethnic Berbers were able to celebrate their traditional holidays, speak their language openly, and even broadcast on newspapers and radio stations. They were even able to teach Berber in schools with the unique writing system. Now add on top of that, Italy once colonized Libya for a short while, which is why Libyan Arabic has a slight Italian twang to it. They even use Italian words like forchetto and marciapiedi. Libyans are kind of seen as like the more conservative peoples of the Arab world, known for being the best Quran hafiz or Quran memorizers. Many kids grow up going to madrasas or schools that teach the Quran, and it's well known that Libyans usually win Quranic competitions worldwide. Okay, we're jumping around on way too many tangents. Let's organize this segment with a quick summarized history montage thing, shall we? Berbers, Phoenicians, Greeks. Cyrene was a...
What's a Quranic competition? I'm not even sure what the Quran is. I'm sorry. I'm new to all this. I didn't learn anything like this stuff in school or anything. So I'm just saying. Okay.
This segment with a quick summarized history montage thing, shall we? Berbers, Phoenicians, Greeks. Cyrene was a very sexually active hedonist society. Romans, Arabs, Ottomans, Barbary Wars, Italian occupation, split between French and British, independence in 1951, very brief monarchy, all the Gaddafi years with drama, Gaddafi taken down, current civil war, and here we are today. Basically, when Gaddafi took power in a coup in 1969, things changed drastically, and he did some really weird things. He took his nomad tent abroad many times. He once even pitched his tent in Donald Trump's garden. He brought horses and camels with him on trips to Europe. He apparently crowned himself the King of Kings of Africa in 2008. He denounced Switzerland for some reason. He gave hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts to Condoleezza Rice upon her arrival visit in 2008. He composed a song for her and had a whole photo album filled with pictures of her. He refused to fly more than 8 hours or go more than 35 stories high in any building. And finally, he had a female-only bodyguard troop. That last one kind of caught everyone off guard, but some claim, apparently what I was told, that it may have to do with the fact that Gaddafi had pissed off some Islamic extremist groups whom believed that they would be sent immediately to hell if they were killed by a woman. So, strategy? But under his regime, some good things did kind of happen. In addition to the man-made river project, Medicare and electricity was free. Newlywed couples were given a $50,000 bonus by the government to start new lives. A portion of the oil wealth was stipend to the citizens. Literacy rates soared as education became free. Nonetheless, overall, it was a 4-decade-long authoritarian dictatorship saturated with human rights violations after human rights violations until the Arab Spring revolutions happened and he fled and then he was killed in crossfire. After Gaddafi, though, unfortunately, transitional leadership became a source of contention and another civil war broke out in 2014. Today, the dispute is mostly headed by 3 opposing parties: the Tobruk-led House of Representatives party in the east, which has the support of the National Army and has control of most of the oil fields. Then there's the General National Congress in the west, based in the capital Tripoli. And finally, you have the smaller Government of National Accord, or GNA. This is where the center of diplomacy begins when it comes to Libya's international outreach, which brings us to...
So really, it's not really a good time to go, just so you wanted to see those kind of like those cool architecture, all those sites and stuff. Probably not the best time to go since they're having kind of still having like a civil war. So you kind of don't want to get in the middle of that, right? So probably not the best time. Kind of probably want to wait and see, wait till things calm down, right, and it gets settled, right? All right.
Now that Libya is kind of in an internal conflict, it really depends on which side of the civil war you support if you're going to befriend Libya. It's incredibly complex and hard to explain, but to the best of my ability, this is what you guys, the Libyan geography peeps, have told me. Egypt is a close friend and shares a deep-rooted history and culture with Libya, but today they seem to favor the Eastern Tobruk-led government, as does Russia and Saudi Arabia. However, despite efforts, the party doesn't seem to always get on board with many of their ideas. Turkey and Qatar have expressed support for the GNC, which is a source of controversy, as some Islamic militant groups have also pledged support to the party, which has allowed certain groups like
Huh.
ISIS access to the nation in the past. The UN and EU both show support for the GNA, the party that has the greatest amount of international support, but not much domestic. Nonetheless, if you kind of take all the politics outside of the equation, Tunisia and Algeria would probably be the best friends. Libyans love to go to Tunisia for tourism and medical treatment, and Algeria is like the big French-speaking brother that has always helped Libya in the times of need when things got very messed up, usually. In conclusion, if you take out everything modern, Libya is actually a land inundated with colorful backdrops of Saharan mysteries, both land-wise and people-wise. Let's just hope our visas get accepted. Stay tuned! You know it. Don't forget, Little Liechtenstein.
What? All right, Libya. Wow. So you still got a civil war going on, and I guess it would like the people who live in Libya. I guess it would depend on who I support if you guys like me or not, right? I have no sides here, so I'm neutral because I really don't know there's a civil war between three, and I don't know what I guess all the details of each one and what they represent and what they want. So I have no say so at all. So I'll keep my business anyway. And yeah, but hope you guys like this video. Hope you hit the like and subscribe and continue on the journey to the rest of these countries. Libya definitely cool architecture. Definitely a lot of deep history going on there. Really cool too, but about the water underneath. I don't know, just the desert and the water. What do they call that thing? Yeah, I suck. You know what I'm talking about. No, you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, definitely a very interesting country, and I really hope. I wish you guys the best in the future, and hopefully you guys come to an agreement between all three groups there, and peaceful agreement, and you guys all get on the same page, because that I think that's the best thing, I guess, for everybody. And yeah, and maybe get some down the line, maybe open get some hotels, maybe get some tourism going on there, because you got a bunch of cool stuff you can see over there. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching once again, and I'll definitely catch you guys in future videos. And yeah, that's about it. Peace, guys. Have a great day.